Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Great Books in 10 Minutes. By the end of this episode, you will know all that you need about Lecid, the popular work of Pierre Corneille. When Lecid was first published in 1636, it became an instant hit. Playhouses were sold out, and people of France were both amazed and entertained by the exciting story of Don Roderick and his beloved Chimene. Today, Lecid is believed to be Corneille's best work and is considered one of the greatest plays of the 17th century. The stories of Cid are loosely based on the life of the 10th century Spanish sellsword Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, who at some point fought both Christians and Muslims. In the story, however, he is portrayed to be a Christian. The name Cid is the Spanish version of the Arabic word Sayyid, meaning lord or master. It is believed that Lecid is based on a play by the Spanish writer Guillén de Castro named El Cid. Regardless of how much of it is based on the Spanish version, it remains a masterpiece and a great literary achievement of the French language. The story of Lecid starts when Chimene, daughter of Don Gomez, hears through her maid Elvire that her father agrees with her marriage to Don Roderick. Chimene, who is in love with Roderick, is overjoyed by the news, but tries to contain her excitement due to the unpredictability of her father's temperament. Chimene's father, Don Gomez, is enraged when he finds out that the king has bestowed the honor of tutoring his son, Prince of Castile, to Rodrigue's father, Don Diego. Gomez, believing that he is worthier for this job than Diego, confronts him. Diego, who is a mild-tempered old man, tries to calm Gomez down and offers him his friendship. Gomez, infuriated by Diego's calmness, slaps the old man. Diego, in response, draws his sword to defend his honor, but he is too old to be a match for a much younger Don Gomez. Gomez disarms the old man and insults him even more before leaving. Don Diego is embarrassed by this encounter and asks his son, Roderick, to defend his name and fight Gomez. Roderick, who is madly in love with Gomez's daughter, refuses at first, but when his father insists that he must put his family's honor above everything else, he accepts to duel Don Gomez. When the news of this row reaches the king's court, he forbids the duel, but Gomez defies the order and arrogantly insists on fighting young Roderick. The time for duel arrives, and despite the king's order, the two men face each other to end the quarrel once and for all. At the court, the king hears about the duel and denounces Don Gomez for his childish behavior and cruelty towards young Roderick. Then he expresses his concern about a potential attack by the Moorish navy getting closer to his country. Right at this moment, a nobleman arrives and informs the king that young Roderick has killed Don Gomez. In the next scene, Roderick comes to Chimene's house, and when her maid Elvire confronts him for being there, he still professes his love for Chimene. Elvire tells him to flee and that the girl wants nothing but to avenge her father. He answers that if revenge is what Chimene wants, he is gladly ready to be killed by her hand. At this moment, Chimene approaches and Roderick hides in a corner. Chimene tells Elvire of her conflicting feelings. On one hand, she blames his father's arrogance for everything, and on the other hand, honor dictates that she must make sure Roderick dies. At this moment, Roderick shows himself to Chimene and asks her to kill him with the same sword that he killed her father with, but Chimene cannot. The Moors attack the kingdom and Roderick goes to war to defend his homeland. He shows courage in battle and becomes very popular among his countrymen. Even the captured Moors love him and call him the Cid, meaning the master. Chimene, however, still cannot give up her quest to kill Roderick. A young man by the name of Don Sanchi agrees to duel and kill Roderick for Chimene, and she in return promises to marry whoever triumphs in the duel. Before the duel, Roderick tells Chimene that he will not defend himself against Don Sanchi, and if revenge is what his beloved wants, then she should have it. Next, Don Sanchi comes to Chimene with a bloody sword. Thinking that Roderick has been killed, she cries and confesses that she loved Roderick and vows to enter a convent and grieve until her death. In a final twist, the king informs the girl that in the duel, Roderick disarmed Don Sanchi but decided to let him live and that he is still alive. The king reasons with Shimine that she has served her father enough by asking Don Sanchi to take revenge for her, and she no longer needs to avenge him. Then he orders the two to be married in a year, and meanwhile Roderick will continue to defend his country against the Moors and become worthier for Shimine's love. Very well, my friends, wherever that you are in our beautiful planet, I hope my love for great literature and good stories transcends our distance through these videos. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and see you in the next episode.